Hey, this is Seth with In Demand Career. I show people how to get jobs in digital marketing with no previous experience or education. And that includes my very special guest today, Revati, who was working in retail and customer service and took my course. And within a couple of months, got a job managing paid advertising in Miami. So I'm very excited to talk with her. Thank you for being here.
Thank you so much for having me.
My pleasure. So why don't you tell people a little bit about the job that you have right now?
Awesome, for sure. So currently, my title is a PPC Specialist. I work with a company called Now Media Group. We manage, we work specifically with dentists. That's our niche. And we manage their Google Ads accounts and Facebook accounts at the moment.
That's great. And what are you doing there? What's your title? Did you already say that? I just woke up.
I did. Oh I did. PPC Specialist. You're good. You're good.
Oh, I do a lot of these. That's great. So, so you're PPC Specialist, and how long have you been at this job?
It's been a little over a month. My official start date, I believe, was April 12th.
That's great. So, lately, or you might have seen some interviews with people who've been at the job for like a year or 2 years, and this is great because you just got the job. Can you tell me a little bit about how has it been? How's your first month been?
For sure. It's been awesome. I work with a really small team. So I get like firsthand experience. Literally, like any question I have, they're there with me, showing me how to do things. Ironically enough, I wasn't leaning towards PPC. So it's really cool because they've been giving me really awesome feedback, and I kind of have a knack for it. I'm better at it than I would have anticipated. I've picked up on things really, really quick, and this role is like really perfect, especially for someone that's coming into this industry brand new with zero experience coming out of your course. Not like I went from taking your course to this. So it's perfect. It's like baby food. I'm managing really small accounts, focusing mainly on Google Ads. So I'm learning the platform, which a month ago was rocket science to me, which I know you say like, oh, this stuff isn't rocket science, but when you don't know anything, it feels like it feels almost impossible. So it's been really rewarding just working with them day in and day out and just picking up on things like really, really quick.
That's awesome. And to that point, before we get into your background and stuff, you said it was difficult, but how, I guess maybe tell people about the time frame of the course, because you obviously were able to get the job and you learned some things about Google Ads in the course.
Yeah.
How was it? How was the course, and how did the job interview go?
For sure. So the course, man, it's very simple. Like as long as you follow everything that's in the course, things really will fall into place. I had to do my best to not jump ahead, which you do a wonderful job of like casually reminding people throughout the videos, like don't jump ahead. Because I did it by accident and I got lost in it. So I ended up watching a lot of the information over and over again. But I actually didn't end up finishing the course. I think I left off at like email marketing, something like that in the course, like maybe, I can't remember what number it was. But as I went through the course, I started implementing things just because that's how I retain information. So I was able to work with a couple people freelance, close friends that had small businesses, and started playing around with Google Ads, not being too hard on myself, but literally just like getting familiar with the platform. And so if I didn't understand something, I would go back and watch the videos. And everything's broken down like really, really well. It's not like everything's a 2-hour video and you have to remember what the timestamp was on something. Everything's really broken down. So that made it really easy to kind of reference a video and go back and even go on YouTube and flip back and forth. And then I just was really active in staying up on the Facebook group that you have, which I think is really, really key. I wasn't paying too much attention to it my first couple weeks into it. I was really just focused on getting the course done.
Hey,
but
so I'm sorry to interrupt you.
Go ahead. I'm rambling. Go ahead.
No. Your dog is in the background, and it's usually pretty cute, but it's kind of distracting because like first he just went and like was laying there, but now he's still like playing with the pillows and stuff.
Yeah, he's a jerk. Let me think.
Now he's
Ian, can you
okay.
stop? I can't guarantee that he's a psychopath. I cannot guarantee anything. He's a sociopath.
It's like cute. Anyway, okay.
He is cute.
No, I usually don't mind having an animal back there, but he was starting to do stuff, and I was starting to lose interest in what you're I was like, what's the dog doing? I don't care about this career path that people's lives. Dog.
See if I
Maybe
can
other
cover.
people have that issue, but maybe I'll leave this in. I don't know. It's a good
whatever.
breath of fresh air. So, but what what no, you were fine. I just wanted to know kind of like what you're saying. I mean, I know Google Ads is intimidating, but you obviously learned it in the course so that you were able to impress the employers. So I was curious if you could tell me like how maybe just you could skip ahead to the job interview.
Yeah.
So they actually hire you if you were,
for
if you didn't know
sure.
that much about Google Ads.
Sure. Yeah. No, fair question. So the job that was posted, it was actually posted on your Facebook group from a previous alumni, and they were pretty explicit in mentioning that there was zero experience required, which is why I jumped on the opportunity. I was hesitant because I feel like I had negative zero experience. Like I was not even, like I said, I wasn't even done with the course. I just applied and had a phone interview. It was really that simple. They kind of asked me what I had tried, or like they didn't have high expectations of me since they were adamant about the whole not having experience. But I mentioned to them that I've been really like taking my own initiative and trying to like speed up the learning curve. That I had my own clients. I had 2 clients, one for SEO, one for PPC, because I kind of wanted to get a feel for both.
I'm going to just jump in for a second just to give you a little perspective, because it sounds like you did more than you were saying. So you did have an SEO client.
Okay.
Right? You just said that.
Yeah. But when I compare what I'm doing now and what the little I did for them, it's like, it's not worth mentioning. I basically created like an account and like fooled around with one campaign. You know what I mean? I didn't even show it.
I think this is great, guys, because that's what I teach you in the course. Like you said, stop, but I'm like, this is kind of hilarious. It sounds like you didn't follow all the instructions, which is okay. You actually did what I mean. You're supposed to just do that. It was just to make one account and one campaign and just run a little bit. And that's all you do. And you did that without, I guess, 100% following the instructions. But I'm sure that's why, because, I'm sure there were other people that applied for the position. And, I bet you very, very few who are outside of my course had even that little experience. That little experience is what sets you apart and allows you to get the job. So you probably knew a little bit more than you're letting on about Google Ads. Did you do the spreadsheet assignment?
No.
Okay.
I'm telling you, no, I think I took a stab at it at first. And then this is when this all kind of fell into place. And before I knew it, I had an interview. I definitely attempted it, but I can't explicitly remember like, oh yeah, I did it and submitted it to you or something. Like, definitely not.
This is great. Who's the alumni? I forget which job this was.
His name was Roberto Sanchez.
Oh yeah.
I believe. Yeah.
Roberto.
Mm-hmm. He's awesome.
That's one of the great things about the community. So so that's great. Yeah. So let's take people back for a moment and just tell them like, what were you doing before you were now working in digital marketing? What was your background? It's I believe you were telling me first you were working in retail.
Yeah, so I was working in luxury retail for 3 years up until COVID. Got furloughed and then got let go because they were cutting positions. And so in between that time, I picked up a job with a tech company. customer service based. Really, I would say it was a lot of work for what it was, honestly. But it was great, honestly, because it opened my eyes up to all things tech. So I was almost exploring coding at one point, a lot of different avenues. And watching your videos is actually what like deterred me from pursuing coding, because you have content with people who left coding to pursue a digital marketing career. So
Right.
it really helped me just feel really confident in going forward with it. I'm really big on YouTube. I had come across a lot of your videos for probably over a year before all of COVID happened.
And then you came and found the course. And so what was the time frame between when you took the course till getting this job?
I think like exactly a month. So around February is when I stopped working with Wix. I was hesitant still to purchase the course because I was out of a job. $500 was a lot. You know, I was hesitant, but at the end of the day, I needed to go for it, and I was pretty sold just because of these kind of interviews, and I had nothing to lose except like I wouldn't know until I tried. And so I think I started like March 1st and gave myself like, okay, I saw another video of yours with another guy saying that he did the course twice in a month. And I was like, I'm gonna treat this like my 9 to 5, which I did, and I'm gonna get through it twice in a month and get on it. And maybe I would have done it twice in a month, but I don't know. I'm trying to remember. I was probably like about 3 weeks in. Yeah, I would say about 3 weeks in between the time that I saw my coworker post on your Facebook group. The interview process probably took like 10 days in between an initial phone call, a follow-up interview with my director, my now director, and then probably a week time span after that last phone call before I got my offer. Yeah, so something maybe about 2 weeks. So that would make sense. Yeah, because I started about April 12th and got the call that Friday before that.
Yeah.
So what is that, a month? Literally like a month and a week or something? Like,
that's fantastic. Yeah, that's definitely, yeah. It's not always that fast, but you
right.
had a combination of, I think, the power of the group and those opportunities. And the funniest thing to me is I have noticed with some of my students is that I have posted opportunities. Not everybody applies because I think, one of the things I try to help people is their mindset, because people, I think,
Yeah.
and I try to help you. I really like what you did. It's funny because you didn't follow all the instructions, but you were taking a lot of action. And some people, I think they need so much
right
before getting that first job. And my goal with the course, the way I set it up, I try to find this sweet spot where I'm giving you all the information so that you can impress the employer, but you don't need to be an expert or have managed tons of accounts. And that's like I don't want you walking in there with no idea. Like, I think if you shown up for the interview and they said no experience, but if you were like, what's Google ads and
of course.
I don't think
that definitely was from what I remember from the initial call with Roberto. It was very informal. It didn't feel too much like an interview, but he was just like picking at my brain. And I remember the feedback he shared with me. He's like, that's great. Like, you're really taking a lot of initiative. Like, that sounds like what we're looking for. Like a self-starter and stuff like that. So for sure. Yeah.
That's really, guys. I mean, that's you've seen it again and again in each interview. People they want the attitude plus the skills. If you just show up like, there's some jobs where if you literally don't know what a Google, don't know anything, they might train you, but it's that combination where they see that you've already picked up this stuff to this point, and then they're going to come and take you the rest of the way. So now you said, obviously you had very limited experience. What's it like day to day at the job? Are you getting, like, they basically training you as you manage these accounts?
Yeah. So my first 2 weeks, we were on a Zoom call every day, showing me everything. Like, I have a notebook. I was just taking notes on every little detail because there really is so much detail. And like I said, I honestly just picked up on it really quick because we don't manage that many accounts, and we're really focusing on the ones that aren't performing as well. So I'm going back and forth between existing accounts. a lot. So I've been able to really know how to navigate through the platform pretty confidently. And then they kind of just let me try things on my own. Like after doing it a couple times with them, like they would watch me do it on Zoom after they showed me. And then once they felt like I got it, we don't do Zoom calls. Like we're on Zoom on chat all day long. And it really feels like I'm almost like an assistant in a way. Because I'm sure Roberto has a lot on his plate. We talk, but not that much. I'm sure he has a lot of things that take a lot of time. So for me, they give me the baby step stuff that's easy for me to manage right now. So like creating campaigns, adding ad groups, sifting through details like location, ad schedule, keywords, just sifting through things on a daily basis to see what's working, what's not working, how they're performing, looking at the metrics for the last 90 days. So they have me looking at, which is phenomenal. That's perfect. It's perfect for me right now. Because it's not overwhelming and it's giving me a lot of confidence. Like it's giving me a lot of confidence from knowing absolutely nothing a month ago to now. It's like really great. I couldn't ask for more.
That's fantastic. And I know you say that, but I'm like, you obviously had a foundation because you're dropping terms that most people watching don't know what you're talking about. You're talking about adding the ad groups and analytics and time frames and things like that. And, you had to have had a context for them to build upon to teach you that stuff. And I'm glad you're getting that type of hand holding. So you're working with Roberto?
Yeah. Yep. Roberto and one other gentleman who's our director. And we were a small team, but we really are a team. Like they're awesome. Literally, like they're so awesome. Any question, of course, in the beginning, I felt, stupid asking certain questions. Like I know I've repeated this a couple times, but they're so generous with their time. And they don't mind showing me anything. And if I fib up on something, it's like, okay, just make sure you double check on that or something. Like they're great. It's seriously awesome.
That's fantastic. And it's guys, Roberto, we interviewed him a few years ago when I was working with Matt. Like, he's the guy that was working in like a warehouse before he got the marketing job. And now he's like, a leader. So I've been trying to follow up with him. He's so busy.
He's up to a lot. And like even him telling me his background, I haven't watched his interview actually. I didn't even know he had one. But him just telling me his background has given me a lot more confidence too, because I'm just like, okay, this is a thing. Like this is a really awesome thing.
Yeah. So what was I gonna ask you? So I'm gonna have to cut it because after about 20 minutes of talking, I forget usually in the morning. I'm like, oh shit. But this is great. I'll cut this out.
You're good.
Yeah, I won't. I've been telling people when there's like embarrassing or like a screw up, I kind of leave them in sometimes. I think it's kind of fun for the audience. I don't know. But what was I gonna say? I got morning brain because you said everything really well, and so you seem very happy. How do you feel having this job?
Super grateful. Like you mentioned earlier, things don't normally happen this fast. And it's very, very rewarding to say you're gonna do something and it happened. Like there's something about that is so fulfilling. And I know that this is literally just the beginning. So man, grateful, excited, super excited because I know the opportunities to come are like sky's the limit from here, literally. My job is super relaxed. I work Monday through Friday. I'm on Zoom with them all day. If they need me to do something, they let me know through chat. I get it done. It's very relaxed. I think that's the thing I'm most grateful for. My previous jobs were very demanding of me in every fashion. In every way, it was demanding of me. This doesn't feel like that. Once you do understand the platforms that you're working with, gosh, it's great. It's great. It's very repetitive, yes. But for me, it doesn't, at least I'm not there yet. I haven't gotten that position yet where I'm like, I'm so stressed out. I don't feel like that right now.
That's fantastic. And it sounds like you're interested in the work. And that's a really good point too, because I've worked in retail, I've waited tables, those types of jobs, and yeah, they can suck the life out of you.
Yeah.
Where here you're sitting in your bedroom and you are working remotely. So
Yeah.
you're in your house and it's mentally more intensive, but it sounds like it's interesting and rewarding mentally.
Yeah. I gotta deal with this guy
Yeah.
all day. That's my office manager.
Yeah. But in
Yeah.
this case, it sounds like it's not very intense, the training process.
No, not at all. Not at all. Like I said, because I think it's like uh when it comes to quantity, the number of accounts that we're managing and the budgets, it's not very intimidating. Maybe if it was like a bigger agency, it might feel that way. Just the numbers in your head might seem like a big deal. But no, yeah, not at all.
That's great. Yeah, I have another student who's working. He's at a bigger agency with some big clients, and hopefully we'll interview him at some point. Like names you would recognize. And they didn't obviously hand him those accounts. I think he's still working on smaller accounts, but I think it's an agency. It's a little more high pressure. That's something in terms of interviewing too. You get a sense of that, and ask yourself. And I've had students ask me like, I'd rather work at the smaller company because it's a little more intimate versus this big agency. But the cool thing is you have these options. And what I tell my students, keep applying, even if you're, because there's 90,000 jobs open. So like you're gonna do a little bit of digging.
Yeah, and there's so many in my area too. Like I see your videos of when you go on LinkedIn and just do the whole job search. There's so many in my area, so many. And I'm excited that once, I get a good grasp of, or like I'm well-rounded with a lot more than just Google ads. Yeah, I'm looking forward to where my career is going to go, because for sure this isn't it. But it's a great start.
Yeah. Have you, I'm curious, has any recruiters got in touch with you yet?
Not directly, but I have had recruiters follow me from like really awesome companies that are hiring for PPC, but like I'm not there. Like I just know I'm not. I just like I read it, I'm like I know you'd probably like me in the interview, but like I don't know. And maybe that's just me getting in my head about that. But I think that's a good sign that recruiters are starting to follow me that are from these like really like top.
You mean they're following you on LinkedIn?
Yeah.
That's it, guys. You're like a little mini influencer celebrity when you get these skills. Because they are looking, like they're gonna keep an eye on you. And in 6 months, that's how you move up. Does Roberto, are you guys gonna stay remote, or are you gonna go back to the office?
No. So no, my God, everyone's remote. The company's based out of California. My director's in Texas. Roberto's in San Diego. I don't know where. If another woman, she's like up north. So no, it's permanent remote.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's fantastic. I think I can't think of anything else to. I can't think of. Okay, cut. Hold on. God, the brain fog.
You're good.
I have to cut this a minute. Well, I think you put it really well, and I love your enthusiasm, and you seem so happy, and I'm really happy for you. Is there anything else you want to say to me or to the people watching the video?
I'll say this is legit. I'm gonna talk like as if I was talking to myself months ago, hesitating and procrastinating of taking the course. This is super, super legit. Follow the advice, like everyone says, follow his advice, and go for opportunities, right? Like if I have any advice, it's that, like, not that I'm a perfect example, but just go for it. Don't think you have to have it all together. Just go for it sometimes and see what happens. That's it.
Cool. Awesome. Thanks so much. And I keep tripping up over your name. Revati.
Good job.
I wanted to mention your name like at the end of the intro, and I was like, I'm not gonna. I did like 3 takes before we got it. But thanks so much, Revati, for sharing your story. And you know, it's really inspiring, especially since you just started the job. And I'm super psyched. We'll do like a follow-up in like 6 months or a year and see how it's
Yeah,
going. You're going to be the person training people by that point.
come on, let's go.
Okay. All right. Have a good one.
Alrighty, you too.